In today's video, we're going to be talking about why so many people in Florida are running for the off-ramps. Why is that happening? Why now more so than other times? Why do we see more inventory now on the market than we've seen in more than a decade? I've done a lot of videos on this. Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda alone, they have more inventory than they have ever had, going back as much as 15 years. So it's gone crazy. It's gone crazy. And we're going to talk about why. Now, the reason that we talk about these things, good and bad, I always say on this channel, we are a non-brochure living channel. We are not talking about all the good things in Florida because I make the assumption that you know those things. Now, listen, I do videos talking about things you probably need to know if you're going to move to Florida, good things about Florida, tips and tricks and all of that. But this channel, what I hope is that it serves the purpose of helping you understand that nowhere on earth is perfect and most places have good and bad. And I like to give you a little bit of both so that you can make a good decision as you think about moving to Florida. So this isn't news to you. If you are not asleep at the wheel, this is not news to you. It is a buyer's market, inventory everywhere. If you're targeting pretty much anywhere in Lee County, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, there are houses everywhere to choose from. If you make a lowball offer and your offer gets turned down, you can just go right to the one down the street and make that same offer. So you have lots and lots of choices in Lee County, especially Cape Coral, especially in the center of Cape Coral. But I digress. Also Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, tons of homes on the market. Northport, I mean, I could go on and on. So the question is why? Why is this happening? Why are people running for the hills? We are going to take right off the table. We're not even going to talk about the cost, insurance, the difficulty in getting insurance, being afraid of hurricanes, tropical storms, and storm surge. We're not even going to talk about those things. You know, like on the Wheel of Fortune, how they automatically give you, what is it, RST LN, is that right? Who knows? Somebody pause the video and tell me. You know, they'll automatically give it. It's a given. We're taking those off the table. We're going to talk about the things that really I don't hear anybody else talking about. Oh, wait, before I do that, hold on. I have to say condos everywhere. We know this. If you own a condo, it's probably on the market. I would say 1 in 3 condos is on the market. Maybe that's too many. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I don't think so. The condo market is insane. If you own a condo, it's highly probable that it's on the market, especially too. Did you read that article that just came out? There's another community. They come up all the time, but the most extreme wind up on the news. There is yet another community that got a $3+ million assessment with not a lot of homes. You know, if there's only 175, 200 condos in that community and they take that number, assess it per door, somebody is getting hit with an awful lot of assessment. So anytime those come out, you'll see it. You'll see that panic rush. The listings will go up even higher. Be surprised when you see yet another increase in condos coming on the market, because anytime those news articles come out, it doesn't matter if you live in Clearwater and that assessment happened to somebody in Miami, it doesn't matter. You read it, fear kicks in and you want to get your place on the market, you and many other people. So we have to also put that in our little Wheel of Fortune over there, because if you own a condo, you're probably thinking about listing it. All right, so here's the other reason that people are flooring it towards the off-ramp. You're over 78 years old. Now listen, I work Southwest Florida. So for me personally, I am Naples, Bonita, Estero, on up to Venice and Sarasota. That's pretty much my personal territory. My team will cover the entire state, but that's my personal territory. So I am working with very much an aged population. That area, Southwest Florida, it's just geared that way. There are a lot of people that are retirement age that buy in Southwest Florida. But let me tell you something. Lately, it has been an abundance of people that are 78 plus that are selling. Now, why are they selling? All right, so who are these people that are absolutely flooring it to the off-ramp? Who are they and why are they doing this? So I'm just going to talk through with you a lot of the folks that I'm experiencing this with. You know, there used to be a time where most of the people calling to live in Naples, Bonita, Estero, Sarasota, that's my zone. My team and I, we work the entire state of Florida, but I personally work Southwest Florida from Naples to Sarasota. And it was, I would say, the predominance of folks that I would talk to looking to buy in Florida were in that age range of 70 to 75. Lately, it has been almost like a mass exodus of people that are over 78. And here's the reason that I hear that people are wanting to leave right away in that age category. Because, you know, to some degree, people want to come to Florida, come to Southwest Florida or whatever part of Florida in that age range. And lately, it's been exactly the opposite. The older they are, the more they're ready to go. Reasons being healthcare. They do not care for the health care. And if they've gotten hit with something that's terminal, God forbid, or something that is really going to need a lot of treatment, they want to be in their home state. They want to be in, maybe they want to be in their home city. They want to be in Boston where the health care is great. They want to be somewhere where they feel comfortable, that they've got their own family, their own kids, their own support system around them. Even if they were people that were coming to Florida 3 months or 6 months out of the year, they're starting to think about that. So that's one thing that I'm hearing. The other thing is they want their money to go hard. They want their equity. Because what you have, you know, when people will say things like,
well, my villa in Naples is worth $1.7 million.
It's only worth what a buyer will pay for it. Otherwise, we don't know. Until money goes hard, we don't know what that property is worth. If you put it on the market saying it's worth $1.7 million and a buyer will only pay $765,000 for it, there you have it. So there are a lot of people right now that are like, you know what, there's too many what ifs. I'm 79 years old. I've had a good run, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cash out my equity and live life elsewhere, or maybe go back home and spoil the grandkids for the rest of my life. People are making that decision, whereas before they were not. And on that note, and I'm going to do a deep dive into this as well. I will do a video on this. They know they're sitting on a pile of equity. Maybe they bought way early on in the 70s around downtown Naples, and they know that that property that they paid $175,000 for will sell for almost $2 million today. So they feel like, why am I fighting this with my low ceilings, my functional obsolescence, my roof that I know I need a new one, I know I need to put a roof on, my pool is crumbling, it needs resurfacing, everything in my home, although lovely and clean, is completely dated. Why am I doing this? I'm going to go ahead and cash out my equity, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my 10, 20, 30 years traveling with my wife, and we're going to bounce around the country on this money, on this equity that I know I have in my home. Or I'm going to go ahead and rent a place as home base because I love Naples and I love all my friends and I love my pinochle club and I love my pickleball club, and I still feel really healthy and young and youthful. So I'm going to cash out this big nest egg and I'm going to rent a place where I like, and I'm going to go ahead and rent a place here in Naples, and that's going to be our home base, and we're just going to travel and enjoy life. So there's that as well. It doesn't have to always be doom and gloom that somebody is sort of aging out. And there's a lot of talk about that, the aging out process of, you know, people getting older and moving to heaven, and there not being enough people moving into Florida. I don't know about that. I don't know that that's so much true. I look at things cyclically, is that a word? In a cycle. I look at it that way. And to me, there's always enough people moving into Florida. We'll see how it plays out, but this isn't new. These cycles, they trend, they happen. So I'm not talking about that aging out and moving to heaven thing. I'm talking more about making a decision in retirement to live a little differently. And I would say the last reason that I'm seeing people run for the hills, and I'm hearing this way more than I used to, is they're afraid of the weather. You know, we used to always tell people that Naples almost never got hit by hurricanes because the direction that hurricanes usually sort of dust up and come around, they almost have to hook. And it just was never happening. For years, it was never happening. And then all of a sudden, it was happening back to back to back to back. And it put fear in the hearts of people. And even if it isn't fear, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with wondering, is it a Cat 1 and then overnight it's a Cat 5? I don't want to put up all the hurricane shutters and start the drive inland to get away from the Cat 5. And by the time that I'm in Georgia, it's a tropical storm. I don't want to deal with that. A lot of people feel that way, especially if they're getting a little bit older. They just don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with coming back, wondering if their power is on, wondering, you know, how long it's going to take to get their pool cage back up because everybody around them lost their pool cage as well. So sometimes it's a matter of just like, this doesn't feel fun. I don't want to keep doing this anymore. So I would say that those are the main reasons that I'm hearing lately here in 2025 that people are flooring it for the exit ramps. And listen, if you're not somebody who's worried about these things that I just mentioned, you might be 65 years old and you might be saying, yeah, I'm in for a good 15. I can tolerate that till I'm 78 years old. Then this off-season 2025, it might just be your lucky day.